We're back here on our channel, Survive and Thrive. Thanks for coming to check out the new video. And if you aren't subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button to follow and see notifications week to week as I upload new content. And as you watch this video, definitely make sure to hit that like button so that we can get this communication out to others and really help them to see the future of psychedelics, some disruptor industries, and where a lot of us long-term investors can make a lot of money. I'm here today to talk about MindMed. I did a previous video, and I will put a suggestion link here at the upper right-hand corner. That was about 3 months ago, I want to say, but it's MindMed, ticker symbol MNMD. Hitting this first article, MindMed Shifting Mental Health Paradigms and More, I wanted to go over a few highlights. This article was from May of this year, and they recently became the second public psychedelics company on a major US stock exchange as of that date. But from their discussions with CEO Junior Ron, MindMed has no intention of sitting in second place. MindMed sees a massive opportunity by having a diverse psychedelic pipeline, which I'll go through in more detail later in this video. Rather than focusing on a single compound, MindMed's multi-drug pipeline has the ability to treat various illnesses. And this is a large part of the reason why when I bought into this company earlier this year, I really saw the long-term vision with the way that they were multifaceted and attacking this industry from various angles. MindMed's uplisting and recent positive momentum is a response to the misallocation of capital to mental health. 2020 and the continuation of the pandemic into this year has driven mental illness and addiction to all-time highs. 40% of the US has some form of mental illness and/or addiction. It's definitely really hard to see and watch, but as it states here, that's a pretty large total addressable market that MindMed hopes to start solving. It is also widely known there is an opioid crisis running rampant in the United States. It costs the US $500 billion per year and is only masking the symptoms patients experience. Similarly, drugs like Xanax only temporarily relieve anxiety. MindMed is trying to understand if there is psychedelic compounds that could create a new paradigm for dealing with pain and anxiety/depression. And I really like this statement here. MindMed operates using a 3-stage approach: discover, develop, and deploy. Now they do have a very strong business and overall set of goals, so I do see them being able to become, if not the leader, one of the top companies out there that's doing the most with this disruptor industry. And so that's why I'm buying in heavy now. And next week, I do have some money that's becoming available, so I'm going to use that to my best interest and start really buying in heavy to this company because I do believe in this long-term investment. Complete start-to-finish drug development to deployment has an 8 to 12 year horizon. That's why MindMed has focused on trying to take substances with previous clinical evidence and history to market their drugs as soon as possible. And so this is, I know for a lot of investors out there, where they see the most risk is that there is just a long time to develop these drugs, get them through the phased clinical trials, FDA approval, and then actually making revenue off of selling the treatment to clients out there that really need it. On top of this, MindMed is still discovering new forms of LSD, masculine, and MDMA, also known as ecstasy or Molly, for advanced treatments for a variety of mental illnesses in the future. Looking into the future, shareholders can look forward to MindMed continuing to pursue clinical trials and scaling up projects. The next step for MindMed is establishing briefing packages for INDs, investigational new drugs, with the Food and Drug Administration. I wanted to discuss here briefly some of the financials that came out for Q2 of 2021. Going into this Yahoo Finance article, the financial highlights in US dollars: total assets as of June 30th, 2021 were $194 million, including $157 million in cash. And it's going to be that money in cash that they're going to be able to attack these different pipelines and make these relationships with other businesses to really amplify their forward success and being able to develop and grow their business on a quick scale. Net cash used in operating activities of $12 million for the quarter ended June 30th, 2021. Net and comprehensive loss of $36 million for the quarter ended. The Q2 2021 business highlights. MindMed launched Project Angie, targeting the treatment of pain with psychedelics. MindMed launched a collaborative with Next Age Therapeutics to explore applications of psychedelics in a brain-targeting liposome delivery system. MindMed and the Legti Lab published the first pharmacogenetic data on LSD. MindMed made a number of appointments. Dr. Sarah Vinson to its board of directors. Doctors Mauricio Fava and Peter Bergethen to its scientific advisory board, and transition of its chief executive officer was also made. I know that this company is still not profitable and they won't be for a long time, a number of years, but I do think that they're making the right early moves now with the cash that they do have on hand. And the hope is that with some of these longer term horizon clinical trials that they're doing, that they're continuing to build momentum, get investors behind them, and really starting to show that they can be a leader within this industry. So I was reading this article from Seeking Alpha. It came out the other week. MindMed, a compelling long-term buy in biotech. The acceptance of psychedelic treatments has been expedited over the past couple years, leaving companies like MindMed in great early positions to succeed, which I am in complete agreement with. And that's why I've taken the position from an investment standpoint that I have. Normally, I would stay away from investing in biotech stocks. However, MindMed has the potential to revolutionize the healthcare industry, and I want to be a part of it. So I really do think that, obviously do your own research. I am not a professional licensed investor. I'm doing this for my own entertainment and based on my own research. And so you should definitely do your own due diligence and make sure that this makes sense for you. But this will be one of those industries that is, I honestly think, a once in a lifetime opportunity. For those with higher risk tolerances and extremely long time horizons, MindMed is a company to consider investing in. And like I've mentioned before in a lot of my previous videos, I am an extreme long-term investor. I have not sold any shares in 13 years. And unless I really absolutely have to, I don't plan to sell anytime soon. As of August 20th, MindMed stock is trading at $2.59 per share and has a market capitalization of $953.5 million. As it states here, MindMed offers a wonderful opportunity to invest in a company that has the potential to both transform medicine as we know it and provide incredible returns to investors in the long run. Given the psychedelic drugs industry is still in its infancy, there is a good amount of risk that comes with investing in the arena. That said, I think preliminary scientific research clearly illustrates the benefit that psychedelics can have on the human body. It is just a matter of time. And I definitely think the same. It's only going to be a matter of time before psychedelics and or the cannabis industry really takes off and there's a greater acceptance and a lot more use case and it actually being implemented medicinally. And so that's why I think right now is the time, if you really want to build your position, take advantage now while you have the chance. So just to touch on some of the projects that they have that they're working on, Project Lucy, LSD experiential therapy for anxiety. They're currently in their phase 2 of clinical trials, examining how a hallucinogenic dose of LSD can treat anxiety. Anxiety disorders are the most common type of mental illness in the United States, affecting 40 million adults, approximately 18% of the total population. So that's a very big number. Given that the annual overall medical costs associated with treating anxiety were estimated to be $1,650 per person, the total addressable market for Project Lucy in the United States alone is $66 billion. So MindMed definitely has a great chance to take a good share of this TAM. How much that is going to be is yet to be seen, but I really do think that they're going to be one of those top companies out there in the near and long-term future. Project Layla, for opioid use disorder. So we touched on that earlier. That is a big, huge issue here in the United States. Also in the phase 2A of clinical trials, they aim to treat addiction as a brain disease rather than just the symptoms that come along with it. Per the CDC, 2 million people in the United States suffer from opioid abuse, with the average treatment cost being $8,800 per patient. That's a huge number. Wow. And that yields a TAM in the United States of $17.6 billion. So once again, I think that MindMed has a great chance to be able to crack into this market as well, and they'll be able to also grab their portion of the total addressable market. Project Flow, LSD microdosing for adult ADHD, focused on treating via LSD microdosing. According to WebMD, 5% of adults in the United States have ADHD, amounting to 10 million people. The total average annual cost to treat adult ADHD is $2,200 per person, yielding a TAM in the United States of $22 billion. So yes, there are a number of projects that MindMed are involved with and in those clinical trials. I think most of those are not going to see any real results from the phase 2 trials until sometime in 2022, if not 2023. So it's a few years out there, but I have a strong belief in this company, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is next week and grab a sizable position. Taking a look at the year-to-date chart for the share price, they're at $2.85. And I think that since I began buying in sometime Q1 of 2021, that I was within this range. Some of the shares that I bought were a little bit under this, like in the 240 to 220 range. And I think my overall average cost basis is at $3.05. So it's about 20 cents more than the current share price. So I think that, like I said, it's a great time for me to really buy in heavy. And so I want to be, at least 4,000 to 5,000 shares here in the next year. So next week will be a time that I will probably buy in at least 1,000 shares. And I'll continue to watch the per share price and look for those dips and opportunities to buy in more throughout the year and into next year. I would really love to see comments about others' thoughts on MindMed, where they think it's headed, any sort of price predictions they think by the end of this year or the next foreseeable future, 3 to 5 years. For me personally, this is a company that I think is doing a great job. They're really trying to branch out and tackle a lot of different opportunities. And I think at the end of the day, they will find success. There's probably going to be a few bumps along the road, just like any company out there that's starting out and getting into an industry that's in its infancy. Definitely, if you want to hear more of my videos and content, I cover everything from crypto to other stock companies that I'm invested in or looking at buying into, as well as financial strategies to help on your path to financial freedom. So if you got value out of this video, as always, smash that subscribe button and turn on that bell so that you can follow me as I continue to upload videos. And make sure to hit the like button. That's the greatest way for us to be able to expand our community and really get the word out there on those companies that should be getting visibility and giving opportunities to others to get in early and invest and make the most of time. Because really, like I've said before, that's your greatest asset as an investor, is buying in early, building your position quickly and heavily if you really believe in that company, and then just giving it time. And so until next time, make it a great week. Keep looking for those opportunities to grow your wealth, and don't just survive, thrive.